Friday, everybody. It's Dr. Bridget Young from babyformulaexpert.com here on another Friday to talk to you about a new infant feeding topic. Today, I'm going to give you some quick tips to cut a bunch of sugar out of your baby's diet. So, hi. The boys are here playing in the dirt, getting filthy. So I'm sure you'll see and definitely hear them. I am not a huge fan of sugar, as I very hypocritically sit here drinking a hard cider, but especially for babies and toddlers, it just fills their tummies without a lot of nutrition, makes them super hyper and hard to deal with, and can cause behavioral issues. It's just not a good idea. That being said, I'm not a total crazy person. I think treats are a wonderful part of our social and cultural world. Birthday cake is super exciting and important. So I don't think we should have no sugar in baby's diet, but I think there should be a lot less sugar than most babies in the US get. So I'm going to give you some quick tips to cut a lot of sugar out of their diet from some of the biggest culprits without making them feel like they're deprived. So let's get started. The first is just a general tip to increase the fat. So in a recipe you're using or anything you're giving them, if you increase the fat, it does a lot of things. One, love healthy fats for babies and toddlers. They're transitioning from breast milk or formula, which is mostly fat, and they should be on a higher percentage fat diet than an adult. And I think a lot of toddlers don't get enough fat. They get too many carbs and not enough fat. The other thing is increasing the fat often allows flavors to be more strong. This is why, like cream and sugar are so good together. If you have a lot of fat, you don't need as much sugar to get that richness of flavor. So when you increase the fat, you can often decrease the sugar without really changing the taste too much. So in other words, you can sneak a lot lower sugar in if you increase the fat. So that's the general tip, and you'll see that echoed in a lot of these more specific tips. The first one is yogurt. I'm toggling between two screens. It's making me dizzy. Baby yogurt is a thing on the market, and it is full of sugar. It makes me so mad. Sugar is an actual ingredient. It infuriates me. So thankfully, whole milk yogurt, there's been a big demand for it. So you can get organic, plain whole milk yogurt at almost any grocery store now. So try to get your kiddo onto just the plain yogurt. If you have been using like a Yo Baby or a flavored yogurt, they may not want that bitterness of a plain yogurt at first, but you can wean them down to it just like you would switch a formula. Just do it gradually. If you've been using flavored yogurt, buy flavored and buy a container of plain. And then if you have an older baby that notices the packaging or a toddler, dump half of it out or save half, put half of plain in, stir it up, and give it to them and just be like, oh, honey, I don't know what you're talking about. And then you can slowly dilute it out until it's just plain yogurt. I am not perfect, and I did this myself. I got my babies hooked on vanilla yogurt, and then I thought, what have I done? And Kitty's standing right here. I don't want to say it too loud. I got them back onto plain doing this, and now they have no idea. The other thing you can do is if your baby or your child really doesn't want just the plain, you can sweeten it yourself at home with applesauce. Makes like an apple yogurt. Great work, baby. Pouches. So you got, like a mango blueberry pouch. Add some of that to the yogurt. Now you have truly fruit sweetened mango blueberry yogurt. Or jelly. So you can buy fruit at the bottom yogurt, and it's just corn syrup and fruit. But you can buy all fruit. We love jelly. You can buy plain fruit jelly and stir that into the yogurt, and you flavor the yogurt that way, and you also get the color that way if you've got a little one that's really into the color and they want the colored yogurt. So those are all great ways to dramatically reduce the sugar or eliminate it completely in yogurt, and then you're still getting all the amazing benefits of the full fat, the high protein, all the probiotics, all the other great aspects of yogurt without this massive sugar dose. Look at those. Foster my own sugar there. I can't believe how hypocritical I'm being. The next, I'm talking about some of the things we eat. Pancakes. So, oh, honey, be careful. Yeah, that's your drink right there. If you get pancakes at a restaurant, my kids love pancakes. Ramp up the butter, and then you can dramatically decrease how much syrup you putting on the pancake. If you put pancakes on your kids, if you put syrup on your kids' pancakes, for all the reasons I talked about before, the butter will enhance the syrup's flavor. Then it also adds some fat, which is going to decrease the crazy glycemic load that is pancakes and syrup. My kids love pancakes, and I let them have them. But I'm totally that mom. I bring my own jelly in the diaper bag. And so instead of syrup, I have the waitress just take it away right away. We put jelly on. And so that's kind of, they love jelly, but it's also visual for them. Sometimes the syrup soaks in, and then kids are so visual, and then they think I want more, but jelly doesn't soak in, and so they can see it the whole time, and so it satisfies. She's right here, honey. So it satisfies their desire to know that something special is there. So jelly on pancakes is a huge win. And then your kid can also pick out which jelly they want, etc. So that's pancakes. That kind of leads into my next tip for decreasing sugar, which is take away invisible sugar, keep visible sugars in recipes. So I do this all the time with recipes.
Can you take this table? I want to play with these.
Yeah, I can. Go ahead and bring it over. So if you have like a chocolate chip cookie recipe, I am coming out with a toddler cookbook, and I have it is heavy. And I got a lot of recipes in there that have options for a small amount of chocolate chips. We love dark chocolate chips. But what I do, now listen, excuse me. Let's leave this on the ground. Be very careful when you pull the wand out so it doesn't tip over. I know you can do it. Instead of mixing chocolate chips into your cookies, your banana bread, your pumpkin bread, whatever it is, save it. Take about a third of what you were going to put in and just sprinkle it on the top. If you're doing cookies, just take like 2 chocolate chips and smush them into each individual cookie, because your baby only wants to see it, right? When you put a plate of cookies in front of them, do they not look around to see which one has the most chocolate? They don't know it's not in there. So keep it on top. That way it's still a treat. It's still that something special. It's still like fun to have after dessert or at a special occasion. But it's not nearly as much as it would have otherwise been. So that's a really great way to cut a lot of the sugar without diminishing the specialness that is dessert. Another tip in recipes is to just cut half the sugar. I do this all the time. If I'm trying a new just conventional recipe, I just cut half the sugar and I double the vanilla. So vanilla extract is one of those things. Oh, gentle. That really enhances that sweet flavor. Vaughn, you need to take turns, honey. You may not just take it. Come here. Well, you need to wait your turn.
There's another hole.
There's another hole in there, yeah. Well, there's yourself, yeah. So just start off with the recipe, double the vanilla, half the sugar, and you will be shocked at how good everything still tastes. So especially if you're making it for your child, they won't know. So I always start recipes that way, and that's just a good tip in general, that increasing vanilla or adding vanilla can allow you to cut a lot of the sugar without affecting the flavor. You looking at yourself? So handsome. A very similar tip along those lines is to try things with coconut oil. So coconut oil is just oil. There's no sugar in it, but for some reason, it kind of adds almost a not true sweet. Whoa! Oh, Vaughn, holy moly. Sorry, I dropped. Vaughn ran to the table and dropped everything. Oh, I hope I didn't just lose this. Are you guys still there? Okay, I'm gonna keep going. So to use coconut oil. So try coconut oil on, honey, can you please not touch this? Thank you so much. Well, it keeps knocking things over for mommy. Yeah, okay. So try coconut oil like on toast, honey. Thank you. Coconut oil on toast if you're used to doing like jelly on toast, or coconut oil in recipes again, and you'll be surprised. It adds a little bit of sweetness that gives them the taste that it's something special. So, and smoothies. I use coconut milk in our smoothies. We do dairy, so I use milk as well, but I'm telling you, the coconut milk adds a little bit of a sweet context almost to it, and it makes it feel like it's more sweet. Last two have to do with beverages, because beverages can be a huge source of a lot of sugar, hidden sugar. So one, juice. We all know this. We should not be feeding our kids juice. I have juice in my house. It's great when they're dehydrated or they're not drinking enough, or, you know, have a little diarrhea. But you can dilute that stuff a ton. So make up juice from concentrate the way it says, and then I would do minimum 50-50. We're more like 75-25 in our house. And if you have been feeding full strength juice, ain't no room for guilt or shame here, mama. That's no problem. But you can start slowly increasing the dilution, and they won't notice if you just do it gradually. And yeah, period. And end that sentence there. So just, you can start gradually increasing the water and decreasing the juice concentrate so that you get it to a less strength of sugar. And the last one, I'm going to give you a suggestion for a cool alternative for chocolate milk and hot chocolate. So this one kind of ropes everything together. So if you start with whole milk, because we love nice fat, it's going to mean we can use less sugar, and you add a little bit of honey or maple syrup. So you definitely, this would be only for a child who's 12 months or older, because it's liquid whole milk. So in which case you can use a little bit of honey, and then add a good, so if you're doing like, I don't really have a recipe for this, you can kind of make it up. So say you're doing like 3 cups, so for several children, of whole milk, I put in like a tablespoon of honey. That's it. A full teaspoon of vanilla, and then just warm it up on the stove or in the microwave, or stir it up if you want to do like a chocolate milk. And it is delicious. So it's a vanilla milk. And then you can add a drop of food coloring so that the kids get to pick which color the milk is, which is amazing. And really, if they're really attached to chocolate milk, allowing them to choose what color they want is a nice way to be able to draw them over to this much, much lower sugar alternative. And then you can use organic milk as well. I have found, I'm not a huge fan of course, a lot of fake food dye, especially if you are dealing with some autism or behavioral issues. But I have seen food coloring on the market that's all natural. So it's like, you know, beet extract for the red, blueberry extract for the blue. So I use those, and I literally can't tell the difference from the old ones. So we have those, and I let the kids pick which color they want. So we do this on hot days, or if it's a special occasion, they want vanilla milk. Could add a little cocoa powder to make it chocolate milk. So that is a really awesome way to get off of the chocolate milk train, which is a really hard train to get off of, because chocolate milk is delicious. I wouldn't want to drink regular milk if I had the choice. So if you guys have gotten in that habit, that's a nice, fun way to transition off. And they love watching the colors swirl around. You can mix red and blue to make purple. So it makes it kind of a fun art project too. So that is it. Those are my quick tips that get rid of big bolus amounts of sugar in your kids' diet. To do a really quick summary, the best way to think about it is increase the fat, decrease the sugar, and that has multiple benefits. Getting rid of sugar-sweetened yogurts by diluting them out, and if you want a flavored yogurt, using either jelly or a pouch, or a little bit of vanilla and a dash of honey or maple syrup, depending on the age of your baby, or vanilla itself stirred up. So good. Whole milk yogurt is so good. If you have been on non-fat, it is about to blow your mind. I can never go back now. Pancakes. Increasing the butter you're spreading on your kids' pancakes, and then you can decrease the syrup without them even knowing. Or switching from syrup to jelly altogether, because a little bit goes a long way visually for them. And usually that's most of what they're after, is the visual perception of what's on there. Using that visualization to just add a sprinkle of chocolate chips or decoration to the top of things without stirring it into recipes can dramatically decrease how much you need in a recipe. With recipes, having the sugar, halving the sugar, and doubling the vanilla will often dramatically cut the sugar without changing the flavor profile too much. Trying coconut oil on things like toast, and then you don't need things like jelly or honey if you're putting that on toast, because it adds a little bit of sweetness. And lastly, diluting out juice. That is not a novel tip. It's something that we could all do. and using vanilla and honey in milk with food coloring instead of chocolate milk or hot chocolate still allows for a really fun special treat, especially on a hot day, without making a kid feel deprived if they've gotten used to chocolate milk, because that's really hard. So if you guys have any other suggestions, I got a lot of smart mamas watching and daddies, leave them in the comments, please share, and I will come back next week to talk about something else. I have no idea what it is yet. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I will see you all next week. And if there's anything in the meantime, if you're struggling with formula issues with your baby, you can come over and find me at babyformulaexpert.com and learn all about the ways that I work with families individually who are having formula tolerance issues. And I would love to be able to be a service to your family. Okay, you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you next week. Bye. Let's see if I can turn this off without knocking everything over like Vaughn. I'm all done, Vaughn. And